Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel with your boy, the Big J. Today we're gonna do another talk session just because, why not? I'm liking these talk sessions because I realize your boy likes talking. I like the action of discovery. I love the just uncover truth. I do that with a lot of people. I have a lot of conversations and I kind of spar with the way they think and just like, tell me how you think, because I want to gather a bunch of information, even if it's bad. Who's to say that it's bad? But I mean, if it's something where it's like, if somebody just has delusional beliefs, it's like, okay, I gotta take what this person is saying with a grain of salt, but I should listen. I should have an open mind. And I'm still unsure as to how I should, go about that. Like, should I still, keep my mind open? Because maybe those thoughts, it's like a stamping of philosophy. It's a stamping of just your outlook on life. Basically, in more simpler terms, the way their mindset is like, it gets influenced onto you. And I don't know how to go about that, because at the same time I feel like there's useful information even with people who, let's say, you would deem unsuitable for, let's say, advice or relationship advice, financial advice, or even just life advice in general, or like their outlook on life. I think more so I'm interested in humans. I'm interested in like the way people look at the world, and I think the reason I like that is just because I don't know why I have this fascination with just people. I don't like people, and I don't mean that in the sense that I'm a people hater, but I feel like I don't like big crowds. I'm not a big social guy. I like talking, but I'm not like a guy who likes to go to social events. I'm a very big introverted person. If anything, going out to social events, it kind of drains me out. Like, my energy is sucked. I'm like, I want to get the fuck out of here. It's almost like I need to go into isolation for me to recuperate. And I feel like, for me, in my opinion, there's a difference in isolation and loneliness, or there's a difference in being isolated for the purpose of improvement, for the purpose of the clarity of thought, the purpose of trying to understand yourself. Then there is to isolation in the lonely sense. There's this great Carl Jung quote that says, loneliness is not, to be honest, it was a long quote, but he said something along lines of, loneliness isn't being physically alone. The definition of loneliness, at least in his point of view, is not being able to find the people in which they can relate to what you're saying. So if you can't find people that can understand you or relate to you, you start to feel lonely. I do feel like there is a psychological loneliness. I feel like that is true. I think I felt that. Honestly, I do feel that in some sense. Not entirely, but I do feel and it sounds egotistical to say, but I'm not saying it in a purposeful way. I feel like it's just hard to find good people. There's good guys that I'm around, and there's good people that I've had conversations with. What I mean is just, it's been very rare in my life. It's really hard almost. It's almost like they're hidden gems. It's almost like finding the people that are good for you, finding your own tribe. At least if you didn't grow up with them, it's it's hard. It's very hard, because it's you have to go ahead and go into the woods and have to pray your own meat. You have to get out of your way and put yourself through this rigorous process to try to find a person that is in the same, playing field. In my opinion, it's very hard, and I don't know why. But again, I'm not saying that in the egotistical sense, and so sometimes for me, I feel a psychological loneliness in that aspect. I just feel it's so easy to find people that automatically fit into just something that most people want, if that makes any sense. If I'm a guy, and I can't really talk for women, but for a dude, I can display my persona as a such to be able to be liked by people. But to actually truly be yourself and truly actually say what you think and be curious to what you want, it's fucking hard. It's so hard. And I've said this in a previous video, and it makes sense, because being authentic might have meant death in the past. You're at risk of being abandoned by the tribe. But for me, I have to remind, hey, you're not in a tribe anymore. You're not living in the fucking woods. Your survival isn't dependent on your tribe. Personally, I think that's why it's so hard to be authentic. Let me try to dissect this almost like an onion from a level perspective. Why is it hard to be authentic? Because people will judge me. Because I'm at risk of having people that don't actually like who I am authentically, truly. And if I don't have people who authentically and truly like who I am to the core, that means that I'm alone. And what does it mean to be alone? To be alone means the improbability of survival. And again, at the end, I kind of like put it under the context of ancient times, like primitive times. But why does it hurt so much to be alone? Why is it so hard to be alone? And when I mean alone, I mean in the loneliness aspect of it, like where you feel lonely, psychological or physical. I feel like it sucks because, for one, I think there's a biological reason for it. Because, like I said, being alone in the woods, being alone in primitive times meant you were gonna die, because people evolved and our brains formed. They evolved in tribes, they evolved in villages, and we survived because of other people. Our mothers didn't birth us, and then it was like, okay, son, after we turned 5. No, we were dependent on our family, and we still are, but like as we get older, as we become adults, we're not dependent on, I hope my boy Jimmy, like they have my back in the forest when I'm going out to hunt. I feel like that might be the root cause as to why we fear, or not necessarily fear, because I think people want to be authentic, but I think the reason it's so hard because of that reason. Like the root reason is because it meant death in the past. It meant abandonment, and just abandonment alone, that's enough psychological damage, and you don't want that. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's different now. Times are different, and I do believe my tribe is out there. There is like-minded people. Honestly, I think a big part of it has to do with geography, like where the fuck you're located. If you're located in an area where it's just like there's mostly losers, then it's like you'll likely come across people like that. And another big part of it has to do with just where you're placing yourself, like what situations are you placing yourself in. Like, for example, I've always gave this analogy, like if you're wanting to find somebody who is like-minded, and when I say like-minded, I mean in the sense that, like, I guess you could say good for you, and everybody knows what's good for you. Like, eating good food is healthy. That bad food is unhealthy. So when I mean good, I mean in the healthy sense, like healthy friendships, healthy relationships. I think a big part of it has to do with where you're placing yourself in. Like if you're meeting a bro at a club, I'm not saying that everybody who goes to the club, like everybody there is a loser, everybody is, I guess, at a lower, mindset. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying clubbing is bad. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right here just because it's kind of unorganized, but hey, this is creativity for you. Not everything that comes out is gonna be good, but in the process of digging, there comes gems. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up, and thank you. I really appreciate your time and just your support. Let's make it to 1,000, guys. Let's make it to 1,000. Like, subscribe, comment down below what other topics, ideas that you guys are interested in me talking, or just what you guys are interested in. Because like I said, I'm a people person in the sense that I know I just like contradicted myself because I said I don't like people, but at the same time, this is what I think. I think that when you interact with one person as an individual, it's almost like you're seeing a flower bloom. If you have a proper conversation with somebody, it is a skill, and I've actively tried to make an effort to get better at that skill. But point being is, like, when you have a conversation with somebody, like only one person, it's like you see this flower bloom. It's almost like you see yourself in them. Somebody said something along the lines of like, when you have an interaction with somebody, you see them blossom, but as they start to like get in groups of 3, 4, 5, and they start to multiply, it's like you start to see the gem fade away. There's almost like this tribalism aspect attached to it, and I agree with that. It kind of makes sense because when you have a conversation with a group of people, like let's say you're having a dinner, it's kind of hard to like connect with everybody at the same time, because it's like I can have a conversation with somebody individually for 3 hours, but I can't do that simultaneously while I'm having dinner with everybody. It's hard. So anyways, like, subscribe, comment down below, and now you see why I can't stop talking. Bye.